Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite video. In today's video, it's going to be a tips and tricks video. I have 7 really important tips on how to make you a very good Fortnite player, much better than you were before. Some of these tips are very simple and beginner, but it's still good for people that are more advanced at the game to, reassure themselves of these tips. And some of these are a little more complex. 7 tips from all walks of Fortnite, from spawning in, picking up guns, building, shooting, aiming, a bunch of different tips we're going to be talking about in today's video. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate everyone subscribing, and drop a like on this thing. Let's go ahead and go for 90 likes. That would be amazing if we could hit 90 likes. I really do appreciate the support I've been getting over on this Fortnite channel. Everyone dropping likes, subscribing, it is all absolutely amazing. Let's start with these tips. So I've written them down on my notepad, and these are in no particular order of importance, but the first tip is going to be some tips that go ahead with basically how you're going to aim. So, of course, aiming and how you're going to interact with different gunfights. So the first tip I have for you guys is crouch when you are shooting. Now this is key. A lot of people listening to this probably already know this, so I won't spend too much time on it. But basically, if you're crouching while you're shooting and standing still, your bullets are going to be having a lot less of a spread and basically a lot less recoil. So you're going to be much more accurate if you are crouching when shooting your shots. If you're shooting an assault rifle or an SMG or any like fully automatic gun at close to long range, this is absolutely key. You have to make sure you're doing that. Of course, there's certain situations where you have to be standing up to look through a window or different stuff like that. With the shotgun, this doesn't really matter as much, but when you're in those long-range AR gunfights, make sure you are crouching and, tap firing or holding down depending on how far the guy is, and that's definitely a big tip. Make sure you guys are crouching when you shoot. That's the first tip here I have for you guys. Next tip here is about aiming. It says it's aim for the head. Now, the thing is, with shotguns, the big key and how I succeed in tilted towers most of the time is by finding a shotgun early. And with shotguns, you have to aim for the head. As of right now, and I think this is going to be changed and lowered a little bit, but the headshot multiplier for shotguns is anywhere up to 250%. So that's why people with pump shotguns can literally one-shot people with 200 health, and it's absolutely insane. Whether you have a tactical shotgun, whether you have a pump shotgun, aim for the head every single time with a shotgun. Of course, that's easier said than done. Sometimes you're going to be missing, but those huge headshots can really make the difference. And definitely just lining up your crosshairs with their head is how you're able to win a lot of those close range and shotgun battles. Now, for more long range stuff, aiming for the head can do double damage. So for example, if you have a gold scar, that will do 36 damage per bullet. But if you're hitting them in the head, you'll get that yellow number pop up. That's how you know you got a critical headshot, and that will give you 72. So aiming for the head can also be good at more of a long range engagement, maybe not a shotgun engagement. I would usually say for your first burst of a weapon or your first shots, try to hit them in the head, and then after that you can just spray to the body. Of course, headshots are very key in this game because you're literally going to be doing double damage most of the time, but it's easier said than done. The head is of course a smaller target, and that just takes a lot more practice with that. Next tip I have for you guys is to make sure you guys have supplies going into the late game. What I mean by this is make sure you guys have good weapons, are farmed up on material. I see so many people that just play the game and just run through the map, and they have like 60 wood, 70 brick or something like that, and they really don't care, and maybe they're going into the final fights with a green assault rifle. The thing with this game is that loot is sort of hard to find, and if you want a chance to win the game late game, you need to have probably at least 500 of each material, I'd say, and a weapon that's at least a blue, most likely a scar, some RPGs and a sniper, and some like potions or heals and different stuff like that. You definitely need a lot of different stuff in this game to be able to win the late game. So this game isn't one where you can just camp and wait for the late game and then get lucky. Some people do get wins like that, but if you want to become a good, consistent player, you have to go out and you have to find gunfights and make sure you're looted up to a good point. That's what I would say with going for that. As far as getting materials, just hitting trees, man. Hitting trees when you're running through and you see these big trees, just farm the trees. If you pull out your pickaxe and you start hitting the tree, you hit that blue spot on the tree, it'll go twice as fast to farm. So that's definitely a major key to do. Make sure you guys are hitting those blue spots, and make sure you guys have materials to win those fights for the end game. Next tip here, I just wrote down build. Building is key, and that's what all beginner players struggle with, is adapting, because this game is unique. The building is so unique in this game. It allows you to be creative. It's one of the things I love about this game. But when I first played the game, I would never build. I'd say, oh, I can just outgun these people, I'm a good player. The key is you always have to build, and you have to use your build to give you an advantage. Make sure when you're late game, you're building towers, you're sitting in towers. Make sure when you're early game, and even in shotgun fights, close range, you can block people off. You can go upstairs. You can use build to rush people. And as soon as, always have your hands ready on the buttons or on the keyboard, so that as soon as you're shot, boom, build. You can tell where you're getting shot from usually if the bullet hits you, and you can just boom, turn that way, and immediately wall up. People that are the fastest to react to building are the ones that will survive. Like, look at this gunfight is happening right in the game right now. That guy just let me shoot at him for about 5 seconds. He didn't attempt to build at all. If that guy had, as soon as I hit my first 1 or 2 bullets, built a wall, boom, now I have to rush him or he has to fight with me. So major key, make sure you're building. Next tip I have is get a vertical advantage. Being high up in this game is such a major key, for the fact that when you're high up, you have the advantage, you have the line of sight on different people. This works in different engagements, or different scenarios. Early game, this can work by getting on top of the houses in the town you're in the city you're in, or on tilted towers. Usually, I'll go up on top of tilted towers, look out around, and you'll see people. We can just pick them off for easy kills if you do have good aim. Vertical advantage also applies when rushing a player. When rushing a player, use the stairs. The stairs are your key. Building stairs, go straight up vertical above them, and then look down, and if they're not as good of a builder as you will have that major advantage. Also, building works for the late game, as you can see right here. Build these simple towers. These simple box towers give you amazing protection. You're able to peek it when you want, you're able to duck down when you want, you're able to jump out when you want, as long as you catch yourself by building. And definitely vertical advantage is a major key. Next tip I will give for you guys is rotate early. Now this one is one that's plagued me a lot also, especially in squads. Whenever you're running, you see where the new safe zone is, you know you got to go towards there, but you hear some gunfire and you revert off the path, and boom, then you get caught in the storm, maybe take a lot of health, maybe you lose a gunfight, or maybe something like that. The key is, especially with late game, rotate early. You want to be in the center of that safe zone, up in a tower, or in the center of that safe zone in a good vantage point, and then you want to look down and catch all the people that are late to the rotations running out of the storm with their pickaxe, and boom, 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 shoot them down really easily. That's more of a key for how I play late game, and how I'm able to get quite a few kills on late game. Is you don't have to rush every single person. If you're desperate for kills, you can do that, but you'll catch people on those late rotations, because a lot of casual players wait till the last second and move in with the storm. That can work good for earlier mid game. Late game, rotate ahead of it. Definitely, that's what I would say. And as far as my 7th tip, or my last tip here, it is to always keep moving and don't peek for too long. This is a major key with this. In this game, sniping, crossbows, a lot of weapons, even some assault rifles, it's hard to hit shots. So always making sure you are moving. You shouldn't ever get sniped one shot. I mean, if you to be killed one shot with a sniper, if you have the max health and shield, it has to be to the head, right? So it's really hard to hit a guy who's moving in the head. Most of the time, it's people who are standing still or peeking something that get caught by that. Always keep moving in this game, and when you're in an area where you think there might be people around you, always stay running, jump, run, jump, running, and jump. That's a tactic where it makes people's bullets harder to hit on you, and definitely a major key. Of course, sometimes you're going to have to stand still to swap some into your inventory, use a potion, but most of the time try to make sure the coast is clear before you do that. Sometimes if you're ballsy, you can just risk it, but I've been caught a couple times doing that. It just all depends. Definitely making sure you're always moving. Don't be stopping. Don't be crouch walking slowly. Moving fast is key if you have that reaction time. It doesn't matter if you're out in the open. If a guy shoots at you, if you have skills, you can use all the tips I gave you today. Build up, decide what you want to do. The key is having different materials, and being able to strategize like that will allow you to basically win games. And these are some major keys for beginner players, medium level players, and even some for advanced level players here. Definitely will allow you to get quite better at the game. And this game is unique with the building and gunfights and how it interacts, and it definitely has some different tips, but these are the ones that, you know, I implemented the most into my game, because when I started, you know, of course, everyone when they start aren't the best player, and now I've become quite good at the game just by following these 7 tips. And of course, you know, just practice makes perfect, watching YouTube videos, watching tutorials and stuff like that. This last guy in this game too, this is a 16 kill win gameplay. I don't know what this guy was doing. I knew he was hiding in the house there, so I have my supplies, I have a tower, I have an RPG. There's no way he wins this, but he starts trying to shoot me with a shotgun. So I don't know if he just got caught up in his inventory or what was. He's just spraying the shotgun. An easy kill because I rotated early, I had supplies, and that's how I did it, boys. Thanks for watching. Drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm out. Peace.